The X-Men reboot is coming, but how do you introduce mutants into the MCU without completely breaking everything? Will Marvel get it right, or are we about to witness another timeline disaster that the X-Men has become known for over the last 25 years? Let's dive in. Welcome back to Heroscope. If you love superhero-related movie analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe. Everyone's favorite team of mutants, the X-Men, have basically paved the way for all of the superhero movies and shows that we have today. Having come out all the way back in 2000, the original X-Men movie showed that comic books could be adapted into good, serious movies that should be taken just as seriously as any other movie. The X-Men franchise continued strongly with an amazing sequel in the form of X2. However, the quality drastically dropped when they tried to merge two massive storylines, the Mutant Cure storyline and the Dark Phoenix arc, into one movie. What ended up happening is that neither storyline could shine as bright as they would have on their own, and X-Men 3, The Last Stand, ended up feeling pretty rushed, similarly to what happened to Spider-Man 3. After this, the quality of the movies varied heavily, going from the highs of Logan and Days of Future Past to the lows of Dark Phoenix or Apocalypse. On top of that, the timeline was starting to get more confusing than ever. In 2011, X-Men got a prequel in the form of X-Men First Class, showing how the X-Men came to be. This movie was praised for being original and for its very strong cast that managed to portray their characters just as good as their older versions in previous movies. This movie was followed up by Days of Future Past, which served as a soft reboot for the entire franchise, connecting the new and the old cast with Wolverine going back in time and changing the timeline. This made all the fans really confused, especially considering the fact that X-Men Origins Wolverine had previously already mixed up some facts which were established in the previous X-Men movies. However, probably the most important thing that the X-Men movies mostly did wrong was the fact they put too much focus on one character, the Wolverine. While Hugh Jackman is amazing as the Clawed Mutant, and Wolverine himself is a really compelling character, most of the other characters suffered. A fan-favorite X-Men member from the comics, Cyclops, was mostly reduced to a rival for Wolverine in the Jean Grey love triangle, while the latter X-Men movies in the franchise, after the soft reboot, tried to rectify this mistake by having the characters all get equal screen time and attention. The quality of the movies was simply not up to par, and it did not matter anymore. So, with all this history behind them, Marvel finally has the chance to do the X-Men right. But, how will they pull this off? The main problem Marvel has right now is that the MCU has existed for 17 years, and no X-Men have been mentioned yet. So, where are they? There are a few ways in which Marvel could handle this. The most obvious one, especially since they have been dabbling so much in the multiverse, is having them join the main universe from another one. This could work, and it seems to be the most likely solution, especially given the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine confirmed that the X-Men do exist in other universes. Another theory is that they could actually already exist in the main universe, but are in hiding, for some reason, or that Charles Xavier has collectively erased the memory of their existence. This could be a pretty interesting plot twist, but it doesn't really seem likely that they will take this route. Another interesting theory suggests that Thanos' snap has awakened the mutant gene in people that had been snapped away, and that we will see the X-Men slowly appear over the next years. However, what exactly will end up happening, we will have to wait and see. What do you think? Drop your theories in the comments. But, even if Marvel get the introduction right, they will still need to evolve the characters and storytelling aspect of the X-Men too. There are basically two big theories in what direction, tone-wise, the MCU could take the X-Men in. The first theory suggests following the comics more closely, and focusing on a more grounded, grittier, almost darker approach. This way, the MCU could focus on some of the most politically troubling questions that the X-Men raise, such as oppression and prejudice, whilst keeping the conflicts the X-Men find themselves in on more of a street level. The other theory suggests that they could be going with a more sci-fi route, drawing inspiration from the X-Men's rich history in space exploration and intergalactic conflicts. This could also be the perfect opportunity to include intergalactic villains such as the Shi'ar Empire or the Starjammers. Another benefit of taking this approach would be the fact that the Dark Phoenix arc could finally be done right, after two previous lackluster attempts. But no matter what, Marvel needs to nail the casting, and there are already some pretty wild rumors. The first question that presents itself is whether or not fans will ever be able to accept someone else taking the mantle of Wolverine, especially given the fact that Hugh Jackman has shown that he's still got it in Deadpool and Wolverine. The casting rumors for the other X-Men have been pretty crazy, Michael B. Jordan's name has been floating around as a potential young Cyclops, while Giancarlo Esposito has been mentioned as a potential Professor X, and has even talked about this rumor multiple times, although it has been debunked since he ended up joining the MCU in a completely different role in the new Captain America. Even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been mentioned as a potential candidate for the role of Apocalypse. The main question that arises out of these casting rumors is, would it be better to cast all-stars and already famous fan-favorite actors, or would it be better to cast lesser-known actors who would be able to showcase their acting chops and become famous for playing the characters, similarly to how the MCU handled casting the characters in the beginning? While casting will be really important, another question that arises is, how will the X-Men fit into the wider MCU? Will it be a sort of Civil War situation with the Avengers and the X-Men clashing, or will they get along from the start? Could their introduction have something to do with the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom? And when exactly will they be introduced into the MCU? If Marvel plays their cards right, the X-Men could become the defining team of the next MCU era. But will they pull it off? The X-Men reboot is more than just another Marvel movie. It's a make or break moment for the entire MCU. And, if done right, the mutants could revitalize the franchise and become the heart of the next generation of films. So, what do you think? Will Marvel pull it off? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to see the full MCU lineup for 2025, check out our latest video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Heroscope, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more deep dives into your favorite characters. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.